Hey guys, Azzapp here. I just got home from gym and we gotta cover this shit. Vel'Koz is getting a buff in the next patch, so 12.8 is the patch to wait for. Okay, so I've woken up to about 1 billion messages. Yo, Azzapp, check this shit out. So yeah, we're getting finally a buff, and we're gonna run through it now, and we're gonna check all of this out. So first thing we can notice is there's so many long range characters that are getting buffed here. So you're seeing stuff like Zoe, Vel'Koz, Xerath, Ezreal, Jhin. Like there's a lot of Seraphine as well. So there's a bit of a pattern here, and they've recognized that these type of mage characters don't do really well, right? The caster thing that doesn't have any resets or extended damage is just really not suited for this new solo queue style. And I've been saying that for legit years, honestly. So we're gonna run through a lot of things, and we're gonna talk about what the buffs could be and what I would like the buffs to be. So yeah, we're finally getting the buff. Very, very nice. Vel'Koz and Xerath. The issue here is, so I think this will be some minor stuff, some very, very minor stuff, precisely because there's a lot of mages getting buffed. So it's kind of like an overall. But the thing that is very curious is that it's targeted towards the said characters that I mentioned, because if you really want to buff mages overall in the game, all you have to do is nerf the Maw, and you nerf the DD, whatever the fuck is the name. Death's Dance, yeah, exactly. So if you nerf those two, mages are back in the game very nicely. Which tells me that they're trying to increase the impact of long-range characters. And that brings me to my favorite thing, and I really, really hope they've taken some ideas from me here. I hope, because Riot is usually very late on me. They take my ideas in about 2 years after I said them, and they implement them poorly. So that's the Riot MO. This Vel'Koz hasn't been changed since 2018. So Vel'Koz exists for 8 years, and in the last 4 he hasn't been touched at all. So that's just the reference I want to show there. So yeah, we're getting a change, baby. When we had when we had that minor visual effects update, I thought they're going to do a bit of quality of life improvement, like with the E maybe not disappearing when you die and stuff like that. But they didn't. So what can you do, you know? We're just trying to do stuff. So my idea and my hope is, my sincere hope is that they are going to try to make this in more of an adjustment way than actually a buff way. Because I would hate a flat out 0.2, 0.3 AP ratio buff, which would kind of help in this meta. But then again, you're gonna buff a bunch of mages over the board just like that, and if it works too well, it might work a bit decently in competitive. We might see it more, and then people can complain, and there's a high chance of revert. So they might just revert the fucking buff, and that would be terrible. I would want to see a gap created between bad and good players, and there are a couple of ways to do that. So you want to increase the risk and reward at the same time, instead of funneling everyone to 50% win rate. And we're gonna get to that. I'll show you some examples why this is 50% win rate basically always. So what propositions here, lowering the Q damage. I've been saying this one for years again. Lower the Q damage by 10%, increase it by 25%. Which punishes the bot players, but it really increases snowballability and gives you more execution manner. And yeah, if you have more execution, that they will be disproportionately used by better players. So this one is rather interesting, probably my favorite, but we can't really predict how it would go. My guess is it wouldn't be too broken. Maybe on support it would do superbly, but even then, there's plenty of countering the support. It's not as if there aren't worse things in the game, like Kai'Sa one-shotting you with her W across the map with insane width. Maybe a pure skill shot champ should get some reward if he lands 2 back-to-back Qs, right? So if you land 2 back-to-back, it will proc passive, which is very low chance because, again, this guy says it's too aggressive and too powerful, but you gotta realize Q cooldown is 7 seconds, and your passive lasts for 7 seconds. So it's kind of difficult to do that without high CDR or getting an auto attack in there, so it would promote you to play more aggressive, and that increases your risk as well. And then you can just add the execution mechanic again, maybe do to boost the damage a little bit on research targets based on their missing health. Something like that. And that could work all across the board, honestly. You could do that. I think I found a way. This is a solution if you really want to buff all of these long-range characters in one swoop. It's so easy. You just take Horizon Focus and you give it execution on abilities below 5%, 10% across 700 plus distance. That's it. So you just give him an execution. 5% is plenty, I think. I think 5% would do really, really well here, honestly. Like, that's all you need. That is literally all you need to get these characters, like, to have some impact in solo queue. Yeah, you could do that, and, like, instead of this, like, Horizon Focus, which is, like, neither here nor there, it's like, if you hit them on long range, you extend the damage. You buff the damage for next 6 seconds. Like, what? Fizz can hit you with his fish from infinite range, and he jumps and one-shots you. It's kind of stupid, you know. It's just, it doesn't have like a core identity. You can play any character in this. You can play Vladimir, ult them and run in. Like, you can do anything basically, right? So it's kind of weird. Like, if they focused more and more identity on towards like the. By the way, I proposed this item before they made the item, like years ago, and they made the item in a similar fashion with like extra damage on distance, but they implemented it poorly. And they changed it, and again, it's slightly better, but not too good. But yeah, that's the issue. And why do we want to focus so heavily on execution? Well, here are some examples. Like this is the match history of the best Vel'Koz player in the world. So let me just go scroll through it, you cunt. Okay, you guys want to see the match history of the best Vel'Koz player in the world? Shut up. Okay. So this is how it looks like. This is how it looks like. Like, I did calculations here. You're just getting ace, 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 ace. Now, the algorithms are flimsy here, obviously, but they can be trusted to an extent. And boy, if you watch these games, you'd fucking see it. So this is all the stream. This is like, this is Diamond Elo, by the way. And I had negative win rate in Diamond. And my win rate spikes up every single time. On the last 9 Challenger accounts I got, my win rate spikes up when I get the Grandmaster. Because Vel'Koz can have more impact if people have a bit more game knowledge. Because you play more macro than micro. Because your champion has absolutely no impact. And look at this. On wins and losses, I did the calculation. So on losses, I had 65%. On average, on 5 players, you should have 20% MVP. But on losses, I had 65% best performance. That's absolutely ridiculous. Like, if you take that metric, like, I'm pretty sure Riot can do some data mining in the background. And they can figure out this metric. And they can, like, shift the focus on characters to improve like some characters, like on to add more impact to them, but make them riskier at the same time, right? So that's kind of how my match history looks like. 51% win rate. This is when you start going to a bit higher elo, and the fact that this is like, because of this, there's literally, last time I checked, there's 1 challenger player on all major servers. All of them, okay? Korea, North America, US, all of these good servers, they have 1 challenger Vel'Koz player. And it's actually this fucking moron. So, and that doesn't mean that there are no good Vel'Koz players. There's absolutely incredible Vel'Koz players who deserve that. Like, first in the US, like Robalas definitely deserves challenger. It's not that the champion is, you're playing lottery. You're just fucking pulling the thing and hoping like 7s come out. You're not doing shit. Okay, there's no impact. Also, during that, I had 3.14 KDA, so you know that's a true Vel'Koz main. So yeah, all these reasons are why we need Vel'Koz buff, but more so in an adjustment manner, instead of just flat out thing that has a high chance of being reverted. Because Vel'Koz works disproportionately well in mid game compared to early and late game, and it works disproportionately well specifically because of that, but due to other reasons. He works better in competitive than solo queue because he has a lower impact, but if he's picked in competitive, the comp is built around him, he actually becomes one of the core characters in the game. So he's heavily underutilized in competitive, and every good coach will tell you that. So I'm hoping, because there's a slight issue. If you make him, like, if you give a flat out buff, he might like just become one of the best champions in competitive, and the comps are going to start building around it, which I would fucking love, but then again, like, they're probably going to revert it because, yeah, he's not a popular champ. He just doesn't bring too much profit. And yeah, that's about it, honestly. I just hope they go into that direction and we get impact so we can actually play solo queue as Vel'Koz players, right? So yeah, that's about it, chat. See you on the next one.